To do this, I must become someone else. I must become something else. What's up? My name is Drew, and welcome back to another Unload session, where I dive deep into the ATD letter that goes out every Saturday to help you engineer tools to attack the day. So this is part 2 Unload session. It was Dad versus YouTube, breaking down insights into the perspective of how you can create a vision for yourself and your family. So I'm gonna continue where I left off. Guiding, not dictating. A father's role and a son's journey. The hero's journey has a villain and a hero. But as you could guess by that title, the hero isn't who you think it is. The hero is your son. And I'm sorry, fellas, you're the villain. Big bad dad is the villain. So you heard the saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it. And that's exactly what the parenting journey is like. Lead our children in the way that they should go so they'll never go apart from it. We try to give them the tools and give them everything so they can put their best foot forward. Those of us that have a certain sense of pride, I won't say ego, pride, it's our job as men, as leaders, to give the tools that can be used. That's your job. Give them the tools and they'll use them when they can. Can't make them use them. You can try. If you watch the first part of the video, you know I tried, but that doesn't always go as well as you planned. So it's a scene, and I love this movie, in Black Panther, where she says, show them who you are, right? She yells that out as, T'Challa is fighting, I think, Jabari for the throne. And in that scene, he's getting pummeled. And then finally she screams that out. And of course, they got the cool cut scene. And then he like, you know what I mean? Like he goes in and he attacks. And then he shows them like, hey, you know what? Like, despite not having this suit and all that, I'm him. And so I like that scene because that's initially when it clicks, when you start seeing the vision for yourself, when people are trying to tell you what to do or whatever, it finally clicks. I'm him. I know what I'm supposed to do. And you'll be able to be that leader you're supposed to be. Learning from our kids' digital journeys. After failing multiple times at pushing what I wanted for my son, I stepped back and I started looking at what he was doing. I started asking certain questions. I started seeing the vision that he had designed for his channel and what he wanted to accomplish. So regardless of how I viewed it, regardless of me watching him for years, post videos and hardly get any views or not get the notoriety that I wanted him and saw, me being a dad, just loving him and wanting to see it that way. I started seeing like, okay, I'm understanding what it is that you're building. I'm believing in you more because I understand the vision that you have out. And I started recognizing that he was carving out his own identity and becoming very successful at it. And I was like, dang, that's what's up, and it gave me some insights into what I was working on and how I wanted to move. I started diving deeper with all of that. And there was certain people that I paid attention to that he was following, or rather I was trying to show him that he should follow, but he wasn't, but he was doing exactly what they were doing. So it's Mr. Grateful, this dude named Maxwell, and this other guy that I found that called The Creator. And I was just like amazed at what each one of them was doing. Mr. Grateful, those of you that probably have seen him, he's heavy into AI, and his videos are all about, just showing you exactly how the process and all of his transparency. Maxwell, I just honestly saw his videos a couple of weeks ago. He's a young kid around the same age as my son, and his videos, 1 million views. And I was like, dang, that's what's up. And it's not just about the views. It's about the content. That's what I'm trying to point out, the content that they were putting out. It didn't go, I think at the time, with what everybody else was doing. It was against the grain. You know what I mean? And with a haircut, when you go against the grain, you get a closer cut, you get a better cut, but you got to be careful. That being said, I recognize that that's what they were doing. The Creator guy, he's still fresh in his journey, but he's following a similar path as to me because I took Dan Cole's course, the digital economics. Again, I told you I'm trying to be as transparent as possible. So if that helps you, I hope it does. watching each one of their videos and journeys and getting ideas for how I wanted to run my channel was pivotal. They're doing something that a lot of people weren't doing. They were being transparent. They were being open. They were building in public. And that's what I'm doing with you all each and every week. As you notice, my videos get better and better. My article gets better and better if those of you that are tuned into it. And that's the beauty of creation, iteration over time. But with watching all of their videos and doing my best to learn from what they were doing, I was able to actually be able to help my son and stop being so much of a dictator and more of a collaborator. From leader to ally, a new role. So by shifting my perspective and doing my best to understand my son's vision and what he wanted to create, it helped me to better be able to give him tips or advice or feedback that actually helped him and allowed him to better his content and better his whole system, because I started asking the right questions. So it's a quote that I love, right? From Kratos, the God of War, and he says, "The road ahead is long and hard. No place for a boy. You must become a warrior." And I'm big into warrior, the hero's journey, villains, like action, right? So I make my life as action-packed and as impactful as I can by using these analogies and telling these stories, because that's what gets me going. And so when I envision that, I picture me and my son, and me pushing and telling him. And if you've played the game, like Kratos, he wasn't no joke. He was, he was pretty hard on his son. But as time went on, both of them learn from one another. And that's what you can learn from anybody if you open your mind to their perspectives and their vision. Before I wrap this one up, before we go into part 3, I got some steps that I think that may help you in, if you're a father, you're a business owner, creator, or whatever. Understanding the evolution in my relationship with my son led me to share some practical steps, tools and insights that have been invaluable in strengthening our bond and understanding. So step 1, learning about your child's interests without judgment. Learn to listen more and ask more questions. Go 7 layers deep with your questioning. Don't interrogate. Show genuine interest in what it is that they're doing. Step 2, offer support and resources, not directives. Once you understand what it is they're building and what their vision is, you can come to the table with something that they can digest. Understanding what resources and what you can do to help will be key. Seeing you as a trusted ally instead of someone pushing an agenda. Step 3, collaborate on a project. So understanding it's a shared learning experience. Now that you've brought something to the table, you have a clear understanding of the point of view, and now that can be used. Iteration over time, and understanding that in this digital age, discipline and consistency are key in acquiring or reaching any goal. And that's the biggest thing that I can say is important and beneficial that I've learned with my son in this process. And today I actually checked one of his videos that went out 3 days ago, and the boy was already at 3,000 views, and he only has 88 subscribers. So these are metrics or numbers that we're able to quantify and qualify as to his progress. And that's all I care about, is the progression of my son and what he's doing. Because as I'm able to learn how to better help him, at the end of the day, he's my most important priority, because he's a part of my family, which goes into my pillars of life, God, family, lifting, right? And so that's why it's so important for me to get this right, because you can't lead your organization, you can't lead anybody in business if the most important thing as a man you're not taking care of, which is your responsibilities as a man, your family. So that's why it's so important for me to get all of this right. And I'm documenting this and showcasing y'all, because I want y'all to be able to do the same thing with your loved ones and families and organizations. My belief is, men, we are builders, we are creators, and it's important and pivotal to engineer the tools and systems to attack the day, So again, this is why I'm coming up with this 1045 challenge. What's up, guys? So the 1045 challenge is a challenge that will change your life in 45 days. It's a mind, body, spirit challenge. It'll take you from being unfit to fit. It will take you from being out of alignment to alignment, and it will help you to be more focused on your goals. So take the challenge and join me. Starts today. Because this challenge will allow you all, as you unlock those tasks for yourself, it'll allow you to unlock other things for yourself. And that's what's so pivotal and important in this journey. So I'm going to end this now. I want you to like, share, subscribe, and tune in for the next part 3 of this unload session, where it's dad versus YouTube. And I help you to engineer tools to attack the day.